everyone, welcome back to the vlog. Last episode we talked about different ways to gain experience in hand therapy, either as a student or a new clinician. Today I want to share a story about how to handle a tough patient case or diagnosis. So a few months ago I started working with an older patient who came to me with a very complex wrist fracture. To be exact, it was an acute commuted intra-articular distal radius fracture with volar angulation with an associated ulnar styloid chip fracture. When she first came to me, she had a dorsal spanning plate on her wrist. So her wrist was immobilized due to the plate, and we spent about 4 months just focusing on finger range of motion. After 4 months, she got really great at making a fist, but she had to go back and have another surgery in order to get that plate removed. And this is kind of when things started getting a little more tough and complex. When she came back to me after her second surgery, it felt like all the progress that we made in those first 4 months were completely gone. She was swollen again. We had to work on scar. She lost a lot of the finger range of motion that we originally gained back before that second surgery. And it was kind of felt like a bummer to us both. Even though that we were prepared for this, it was a conversation we had before she went in for her second surgery. I knew the protocols and the exercises needed in order to gain that motion back. It just kind of felt like the progress that we made was gone. During treatment sessions, she would start to ask, how much longer is this going to take? You know, I just want to get my hand function back. I live alone. I want to be able to do things on my own. I felt better when the plate was in. And that's when I really started to, think about me as a therapist and how I can support her both clinically and rehab her hand, but also emotionally through this process, which is what made this a tougher patient case for me. From there, instead of focusing on the big picture, like let's get full functional range of motion, we started setting small achievable goals. So tying her shoes was a big one, increasing her wrist extension by 5 degrees, the ability to hold the loofah in the shower, these small things that she could look forward to and get excited about, especially coming in twice a week. Because of the timeline of this case and how frequently I was seeing her, it also reminded me that it's okay to not know everything, especially as a new therapist. You are not going to have all of the answers. There were times when working with this patient where I had to, take a break, consult another senior therapist, look in protocols, even message the surgeon and ask, is this normal what I'm seeing? And keep that line of communication open just to make sure that we were on the right track and we were doing everything correctly. Imposter syndrome is very real, especially when you feel like you're starting from square one after 4 months of working with somebody. But just know that you have the resources, the guidance. You can lean on other therapists and other people within the community to help you. Challenging cases like the ones I shared with you today are only opportunities for you to grow. They teach you clinical reasoning, empathy, and make you a better clinician overall. They remind you that rehab just isn't about the exercises. You're helping somebody gain confidence and function to be independent in their daily lives. Every patient that you see, and especially the tough ones, are only going to make you a more well-rounded therapist. So if you ever had a challenging case or felt imposter syndrome as a new therapist, I would love to hear your story in the comments below. And stay tuned, because in the next episode, we're going to dive into splinting as a new grad therapist, different resources that you have, common pitfalls and tips and tricks that I've learned in my first year. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next episode.